Welcome to Career Plug. What have you learned from what you thought was a mistake at the time?
I can think of one thing that I experienced as a manager, which was trying to micromanage other people, like employees. Because I like to control my own destiny, and when you have other people that work with you, if you try to control what they're doing to fit your outcome, it's not always going to lead to the best result. So in terms of one mistake I made, there was a particular employee that I worked with when she started who I just felt like I kind of micromanaged her. And this for me was the first time I'd ever been in management before. So it wasn't just about going out and selling, loans. It was about managing other people. So what I've learned is that people are empowered by autonomy, not micromanagement. And you've got to inspire them, but not control what they're doing. So that's, I think, one thing, when you're in a work setting, don't try to control other people. Don't try to micromanage. Really learn what a person's skill sets are and try to encourage, growth in those areas, I would say.
That's excellent. That's excellent. I think, yes, we all want to control our destiny. And especially if we are managing people, we want to make sure that they don't do anything to endanger our jobs, essentially. So the tendency is to micromanage, but really it is about trust. It is about encouragement. It is about providing the skill sets and knowledge base that's necessary for them to succeed and then letting them fly. Now, of course, if they don't exemplify hard work or focus, then you have to make the necessary steps. But to your point, what you cannot do, and it's hard not to, is to try to micromanage someone. So I would agree. I have certainly made that mistake. And I think most people who especially, sort of earlier in your career, if you're over even 2 to 3 people, you want to make sure that they are making you look good because you know that you will be held accountable. Um, but really, what you learn over time is that if they, if you hired correctly, screen them correctly, and then provide them the necessary, again, knowledge based skill sets, advice, when you let them fly, they typically will do well.
Yeah. And one other thing that I just thought about that came to mind, another piece of advice I would have for others is when you're in the workforce, there's going to come a time when somebody upsets you for whatever reason. They say something that's offensive, or there's an employee that's not doing what they are supposed to be doing, and it can really impact your job description. I would say another piece of advice I have is if you're upset and you're about to communicate something to somebody, maybe just wait until the next day. Think about it overnight. I know there's been times in my early career where somebody struck me the wrong way and I like automatically, let's say, fired off an email to that person, like just really, addressing what it is I was upset about. And as I've gotten older and more mature, I've realized like, hey, if you actually spend 24 hours to think about it, there might be a better way to communicate that to that person to get a better outcome than if you just automatically confront what the problem is right away. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is just like working with people. Everybody has their own needs and their own skill sets, and you've got to be able to work through those differences in an effective way. And that's where I think listening to others, being empathetic, having a forgiving heart, not micromanaging, all those things kind of go hand in hand.
Agreed. Really good advice and really good life advice generally to pause and not show so much, anger and wrath to people, even if, that fire is inside of you to do it immediately. So again, thank you for that.